Welcome. My name is Carolyn Howell, and I am the host of RTV.network, this special segment, and I have with me the amazing Will Downing. Good morning, Will.
Good morning, how are you?
Look, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Let me tell you this is unbeknownst to Will Downing. If someone were to ask me, who is your most favorite artist, living or dead? Everybody knows in my family it would be Will Downing. So this is a thrill and a treat, and I wasn't even going to tell you.
You probably would say that if Maxwell.
No, I'm so sorry. That is not it.
Like, Maxwell, you're my favorite.
No,
Will Downing, I can't stand Will Downing.
The playlist on my phone tells it very, very differently. What a thrill to have you here. And you know what I can easily say this, you look just like your albums. No.
Well, I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's
that's
accurate.
A really good thing. That's a really good thing. We are so happy to be able to have a conversation with you. And we understand that you do a weekly radio show, which is excellent. But for us to be able to have you here, for our listeners and our viewers, we're super excited. So typically when you're talking with an artist and they are on the television or on the radio, they have to tell their story the way that whether the stakeholders or the audience wants to hear it. I want you to take me back and just tell me about Will Downing the way you want that story told.
Wow.
Take me all the way back.
How far back?
All the way back.
I was born in a wooden shed.
In Willacoochee.
Willacoochee.
No.
Walked to school uphill, backwards, both ways. No.
That's hilarious. But tell me about yourself, really.
Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Never really set out to be a recording artist. No, I mean, I come from a non-musical family. I'm the youngest of four. My two sisters are educators. My mother's an educator. My brother is an electrical engineer. My father worked at the airport as a skycap, and I sang. So,
but nobody else has a tone. Nobody else sounds like this.
Okay, Carolyn, I was adopted. All right.
No, okay, all right. So that
me.
secret's out.
No, there's no other musical anything in my family. no.
Wow.
Like I said, my parents would introduce us. They'd go, "This is my daughter, Linda and Myra. They are the principals of the school. This is my son, Gerald. He's an electrical engineer. Oh, and that's Wilfred. That's my God. That's my government name, Wilfred.
Wilfred.
And I changed it to Will when I became a recording artist. But
I love it.
let me back that up. A school teacher actually discovered that I had a little bit of talent. When I was in junior high school, this is when they had the arts in junior high school and schools in general. And they would make you sing in a choir, and the teacher would always walk up and down the line and say, okay, yeah, I think you can do better. And the teacher would always look at me kind of like, hey, you're a little different. And I didn't know if that was good or bad, but at one point he just said, I think that you should pursue your musical talents in a further way, further it on in your career in some way. So they put me into a music program. I studied music in junior high school, then went to an arts high school in Brooklyn, New York, called Erasmus Hall High School. And
Wow.
that's the school where Barbara Streisand went, also Clive Davis, Kedar Massenburg, I think Stephanie Mills went there, James D. Train Williams, for those of you who like kind of like dance R&B music, great singer as well, good friend. And so we all attended the same high school at different times, but we all attended the same high school.
All right.
Left there, went to Virginia Union University in Richmond, Virginia, HBCU, and studied music there. Left there, went to Brooklyn College, studied music in Brooklyn College, and then pursued my career full time. Started out primarily as a background vocalist. I'll look right into the camera. Started out primarily as a background vocalist around New York and singer for hire. Did a bunch of 12-inch records under assumed names, meaning that I didn't put under my name. So I had about 6 singles out. Let me see, for movie scores, one was The Goonies. I was on Sire Records as a group named Envy, literally the initials Envy. I was Pilot on Prelude Records. And I, oddly enough, got discovered as a solo artist with a group called And Don't Laugh.
Okay.
Don't laugh.
All right.
Apparently, you gotta fix your face, bite your lip, whatever you gotta do. I'm gonna say it to the camera. The group was called Wally Jump Jr. and the Criminal Element.
Wait a minute.
Hold
on. This sounds like something that somebody made up in junior high. Say it again.
Wally?
No, really.
The cameraman's back. I'm looking at. Did not tell her not to laugh. Did not tell her.
I can't help it because I thought
audience.
it was going to be weird, but this is.
I swear to you.
Willie Jump Jr.
Wally Jump
Wally
Jr.
Jump Jr. Excuse me.
And
Wally.
the Criminal Element on Criminal Records.
Oh my goodness. And that's how you got discovered?
Listen, we did an answer record to Gwen Guthrie's Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent. Remember that song?
Of course.
We did the answer record and it was called Ain't Gonna Pay You One Red Cent. I swear to you.
You can't make this up.
Go online and look it up. Go on YouTube.
I'm looking it up. I am absolutely going to look it up.
Yeah.
But from Wally
Jump Jr.
You
just like saying it.
I do, because I can't believe it. Because this is something you would make up if you had too much,
Nope.
To
to smoke,
whatever. So let me.
Boone's Farm.
Boone's Farm, exactly. And exactly, Strawberry Hill. But my question for you, somebody said, wait a minute, in the middle of Wally Jump Jr. and the Criminal Element, did I get it right?
Yes.
I hear a voice that I like. Is that what happened? That what happened?
Yeah, I had done so many records under these assumed names. It was like, is that the same guy? Is that the same guy who? Is that the same guy who? And I was like, I like that guy. What's his name? And then finally someone came along and just said, that's him. Would you like a record deal?
How did you feel?
I felt honored. I mean, because I could get to do what I wanted to do musically my way. And that was real important to me. So my very first record came out in 1988. It was self-titled, Will Downing. And I had songs on there like I Love Supreme, which we did really, really well overseas. And here in America, I did a version of Denise Williams' Free. And we sold nothing. It did absolutely nothing. I mean, honestly. And I found myself overseas working quite a bit.
And I love the way that works because go where people like you.
Well, yeah, but I hadn't thought about the overseas market. My concern was I wanted all my friends and my boys around the way trying to see me doing my thing. And I was like, yo, you heard my record? They were like, no, you never. Ain't playing a record here in New York. I don't know who the hell you are.
And New York is not kind when it comes to that.
Nope.
So let me ask you this question, especially when it sounds like this. When people are coming up and they realize that they're musical, they normally have people that they want to sound like. Mm-hmm. Was there anybody you wanted to sound like?
The first person that really, really, really affected me was probably Al Jarreau.
Oh, wow.
Um, Isaac Hayes, because my voice changed when I was about 13 or 14 years old.
It changed to this.
Yeah. I used to have a high voice. I used to be able to sing
Oh,
really,
my
really high.
goodness.
So Peebo Bryson in my household, and these are some names that people may not be familiar with out there, but they're amazing vocalists. You should check them out.
Okay.
Like Walter Jackson, amazing vocalists. DJ Rogers, and then other influences that are more well-known people, Bryson, and probably the biggest one was probably Luther Vandross.
All right.
And this is before Luther was known as Luther. It was in the group Change.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to hear that because I always want to know, because right now, if I was trying to sound like somebody, well, maybe not me, but if somebody, you could say, well, I want to sound like Will Downing, because that's it. You are known of, what is your special title that folks call you? You know what it is.
Well,
Tell the
the
truth.
Prince of Sophisticated
The
Soul.
Prince of Sophisticated. I love that, because being a prince, you're always younger.
Well, thank you.
You're fine, you're regal.
Well, thank you.
And sophisticated soul,
Well,
and that's
Well, I can say Carol, it's better than Wally Jump Jr.
okay. Wally,
it's better.
this is going to be my new joke. Wally Jump Jr.
And the
and the
criminal
criminal element.
on Criminal Records.
Okay, on criminal records. How many records did criminal records make? Never mind. Just don't even.
Yeah.
Don't even
Look, everybody, look it up.
But was it really a Wally Jump Jr. or you all came up with that? Okay, well that's fine. I'm glad.
It was me, another brother named Craig Derry, and the producer and other artists by the name of Arthur Baker. And Arthur Baker did like what was his big hit with Africa Bambaataa, Rocker's Revenge, and all that sort of stuff. So look it up, Arthur Baker, amazing talent, amazing producer, amazing writer. So yeah, those three of us, we made up Wally Jump Jr. and the Criminal Element.
Wow.
On Criminal Records.
On Criminal Records. Let's get it right. On Criminal Records, because none of us are going to ever forget this. And I'm sure right now our viewers and our listeners are truly Googling it or making a bookmark to come back and do it later. Because really, that's going to be a little bit of research for me this afternoon.
You'll be shocked what pops up when you get it on, put it on Wikipedia or something like that.
But I'm
the
really
biggest thing ever.
I know, but I'm just excited because if that was your jump off point, if that was the discovery point, well then that was your soda shop, off Broadway. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So when you think about your singing now, because for me, the one thing that I like is your voice hasn't changed except to get better. And I don't know how you do that.
Well, we'll get your hearing check. Don't worry about
No. Trust me. We're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to find out a little bit more about this. We're going to leave Wally Jump Jr. in the background, but we're going to take a break right now. We'll be back with wonderful Will Downing.
Dawn Francis here. I want to invite you to the upcoming new book show. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be amazing and awesome with wonderful authors and wonderful information. It's so exciting. So make sure that you tune in and have a fabulous day on purpose. Why? Because you can. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to Behind the Inspiration Podcast, the show that encourages and motivates with our 5-minute interviews of inspiration. My name is Ken Waller, and I am your host. The Behind the Inspiration Podcast is a part of my moving forward by helping others identify what true inspiration is. Behind the Inspiration Podcast was developed to provide a platform for sharing awesome, uplifting stories by individuals inspired by events or situational experiences in their lives. Inspiration motivates you to be better and to do better. Different things inspire different people. There is so much inspiration in this world. It's important that we start to highlight the things that inspire us versus the things that are destroying us. The Bahani Inspiration Podcast can be heard right here on Anchor Podcast or on the podcast platform of your choice. Thank you in advance for tuning in.
All right, we are back. We are back with Will Downing. We are super excited. We've been talking about so many things. If you missed the earlier part, you'll have to tune in later on rtv.network and watch how he got discovered, because this crazy name and the scenario around it is something I couldn't even make up, and I think I'm pretty creative. But I was asking, while we were off air, I was asking Will Downing, because listening to his voice, he sounds like he's ready to burst into song at any minute, and he just did before we went off air. But I asked, you mentioned Isaac Hayes, and I asked, everybody knows the iconic I stand accused, and I said, or guilty. Well, all of a sudden the title went out of my name. I asked him, did you ever try to do that song? And what's your response? Why did you never try to do an Isaac Hayes like Isaac Hayes?
My reply was, I think Isaac, Isaac, obviously an amazing singer, musician, arranger, but the key to Isaac's songs for me were his intros. So he had like these long spoken intros, like, I came home and she, and I told her, and then she. So that's the setup. I can't do the, I came home and she.
So you sound great. You wouldn't be feeling it?
It's been done.
Okay.
He did it. No one can do it better than Isaac. I stand accused. What was the other one? Obviously Shaft. But, yeah.
But he's got so many, and I think you're right about that. I mean, we loved him musically, but it was that whole way he brought it. So I like the fact that you know what you do well, and you continue to do it.
Listen, you don't go to Kentucky Fried to go get a hamburger.
All right. Well, you know what? And I agree with that. So I'm all about that.
I stay in my lane. I fry chicken. I fry chicken. That's what
That's fine. And people want the chicken.
And people want chicken.
Now, tell me a little bit about your radio show. So you're doing this radio show, which for me, a fan, I would be thrilled. I mean, your fan base must love it. What does the radio show actually focus on?
Well, it's called The Wind Down, right? And I've been doing The Wind Down since 2008. It's a weekly show. So
you did not wait for COVID to do something like that?
No. And I'll tell you how the show started. Okay. All right. It came into existence because in 2006, 2007, I was really sick. I was on my back. I was in a hospital, and in a hospital bed in a wheelchair for about a year and a half. And so when I came back into the music full time, it's not like you jump up and you start dancing and singing all over again. The transition is very long. So in order to get back into the industry, I started this radio show so that no one would have to see me. They could just hear me. And they know that you're still alive. They know that you're still viable. They know that you're still doing something involved in entertainment. So that's how it started. And what I do on my show, it is not your traditional type show.
Oh, we love non-traditional.
Yeah, I try to play songs off of an artist's album that you don't necessarily hear. In normal radio or in traditional radio, they pick a single and they push that single. But then there's 8 or 9 other cuts on that album that you may not have the pleasure of hearing. So I kind of dig into the albums a little bit.
Oh, and I love it.
Yeah, we play that, and then we do a segment called Interpretations, where you hear one song by 2 artists, and it's not a competition, it's just an interpretation. And then on top of that, we also pay tribute to an amazing artist as well.
So you basically you're giving an opportunity, maybe one that you didn't have, but you're really providing a platform and opportunity for people to be discovered in greater ways.
Absolutely. Someone did it for me, AKA Wally Jump Jr. and the Criminal
Element on Criminal Records.
On Criminal Records. So,
yeah. Well, I'm excited because they're going to be able to hear your radio show on rtv.network. So that'll be coming in the weeks. We're gonna make that happen real fast. Mm-hmm. But that's gonna be excellent because the more we can expand, there's so many great artists out there. Mm-hmm. And to be able to say, Will Downing's featuring me tonight, mm-hmm. that's really exciting.
Well, you know what? I believe you have to give opportunities. Someone gave me one, and I think that people need that as well as established artists. unfortunately in the entertainment business, the older you get, sometimes people push you aside. And I think that there's still a lot of life in some of these artists, and they just need the same opportunity that a new, young, up and coming artist needs. So
I
that's what
love
we
that. See, when you think like this, when you think strategically like this, everybody is lifted
There
up.
we
So
go.
that's an exciting thing. So knowing that you've been in the business for almost 35 years,
do. Yeah, close to it. Yeah.
and
You have to say it whispered like that.
almost 35 years. No, I was
Damn it,
loud
I'm
and
old.
proud.
I've been around a long time.
No,
I'm old.
seasoned. We're gonna say seasoned. But look, and if people brag about that with their wine, they can't wait to tell you how old their wine is.
Well,
So I'm
yeah,
just saying-
some wine turns into vinegar, but I'm not vinegar.
No.
I'm good vintage stuff.
Well, that's why he has the wined, not to be confused by wind down.
There we go.
But so when you're thinking about touring, what is the best part of being Will Down?
The best part about it,
The best part.
I think growing and learning who you are along the journey. That's the best part.
Wow.
Realizing that this is not who you are, it's what you do. So the balance of life, I've been blessed to be able to make a living doing this for 35 years. And a lot of people can't say that. A lot of people have dreams and the dreams never come to, into fruition. I'm very fortunate enough to say that mine have come true.
That gives me chills. So if in fact you decided you didn't want to tour anymore, you like singing so much, you're gonna sing whether you're touring or not, correct?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think that it's a God-given gift and you use your gift. But I enjoy life as well. I try to do other things and keep my life balanced and just very well balanced, really, more than anything else.
I love that. What are your favorite hobbies?
I love sports. I used to play. I'm terrible now. I love watching. I have a grandson, so and I have 3 children. So, and I have a wife, and we enjoy it. We enjoy ourselves. We enjoy life.
Do your children sing?
No, they do not.
Can your children sing?
Actually, okay. Let me be more specific before my youngest will kill me.
Okay,
so
yes.
Say this on camera in front of everybody. My youngest daughter, Asia, she is what you call a triple threat. She sings, she dances, and she acts. And she's out here trying to make it. So she.
Are you serious? Where can we find her?
Look her up, Asia Downing, AJA Downing. She was at the AJA comes from the album Steely Dan. It was one of my favorite groups coming up. So I named her after my favorite album. Yeah, Steely Dan. A19, absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
And Asia, the song Asia as well. The album Asia.
You know what, the versatility, these are the things that you never find out until you get to sit this close to somebody. And I'm so tickled I'm this close to somebody talking about that. So I asked you the best, what is the worst part of being Will Down?
The worst part?
If you had to pick.
Well, I always say hip hop and it don't stop. I mean, it just don't stop. We did a show last night.
Right.
And, I'm here with you right now, which I'm enjoying. But then as soon as we finish with you, we get back on the road. We're driving to our next destination. We get like one day off and we're back on the stage. So there's a blessing and a curse behind it. It's like it never freaking stops. See, when I started doing this, I had a head full of hair. I had an afro. Look at me now.
Okay, I'm really gonna have to Google that because I don't remember seeing hair.
I had good hair.
Everybody whose hair is missing can say they had good hair.
You get seasick looking at my hair back in the day.
That many ways. Okay, I'm gonna let you tell it. So tell me about the upcoming tour. I mean, about really your shows, because we want to make sure that people are plugged in. Because the way you sing, even when you're in a big venue, it feels very intimate. So where are you going to be playing next?
Oh Lord, where are we playing? Play New York. We have Detroit. We have Kalamazoo. We have Hawaii coming up. Oakland, California at Yoshi's. So we're booked well into 2022.
I love that.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to buy tickets, I'm watching this right now and it's like, Will Downing, wait a minute, hold on, where can I get tickets? Where can I find that right now?
Come to www.willdowning.com. That's one of my websites.
WillDowning.com.
WillDowning.com. If you want to support me musically and purchase t-shirts or whatever,
Yes.
come to The Prince of Sophisticated Soul.
Okay, theprinceofsophisticatedsoul.com. How's that for really taking your title literally? I love it. No, that makes sense. And that's really wonderful. And I love that. And we want to support artists. You mentioned that the arts are not in school to a great extent. So there's so many people that are being missed. I love the fact that your radio show is giving them a platform. So, everybody can shine. Babe Ruth had a greatest day and this, that, and the other. If you had to think back over your career up to this point, because the best may be yet to come, what is the best show you feel you ever did? When you left that stage, you were like, woof, drop every mic.
Well, I mean,
I just want to know.
that would be slightly braggadocious, but let me tell you
It's okay.
my greatest memory. It was the first time I saw my name on a marquee, and I was in London. We were playing a place called the Dominion Theater. And prior to that, I had done like clubs around New York,
Okay.
or everywhere. And sometimes when you do clubs, people, they're not really listening. They're drinking, they're talking, and you just kind of happen to be the background music.
Okay.
So the joy for me, career-wise, to look up, go to London, look up on the marquee, see my name, and to realize that people are actually there listening, specifically listening to you. Every word that came out of your mouth. So it was a moment that I'll never forget.
Oh, I love that. I love it. I always wonder, what would that feel like?
Oh,
Trust me.
a feeling that you can't even explain it. It's like people are actually listening. They're really listening.
They're paying for
They're
me.
paying for me. Yeah.
Oh, I love to hear that. And especially here, but you get the same reaction here. You certainly get that same reaction from me and my
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank
in
you.
every way, shape, or form. Now, speaking of your highest highlight,
Mhm.
what was the biggest bomb? What was one of those days you say, I really want a do-over? Is there anyone that sticks out in your mind as
Well, I've been booed before.
by your fan base?
Yeah, sure.
Well, what did it? You didn't sing the song they wanted to hear?
You got the gift.
No.
You got the magic eye. How'd you know that?
Because I sit in the audience and I'm like, what are we gonna do this? What are we gonna do that? And I'm saying in my mind, because my night's not capped off until you hit that one number.
Listen,
And you know we want it.
one night we were supposed to do the song Nothing's Ever Felt Like This, a song, the duet that I do with Michelle Farrell. And for some reason on this particular night, we didn't do it. And people, time or whatever it was, but people went berserk. They turned them house lights on, they went, boo! I hate you, Will Downings!
Oh.
But that's on there. I hate you, Will Downings! I hate you! Hey! All that.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, I could not make this up. Yeah. It was,
But that might have been me too, because this is what you want. There's some singers that you want to go and see, and you want to know what's new,
Mhm.
what you got that's new. But I will be honest, I could literally go to your concert week after week, as long as you sang all my other favorites, because it's one thing when it's just me and my iPhone playing it, and it's on iTunes, it's one thing. But when it's you in the audience, I want to see the words coming out of your mouth.
Mhm.
And see if, I want to make sure that this is all real and this is not just the studio. So that's important for me. That is really important.
It's real. And we can't hit them all. I mean, every night there's going to be someone that comes up to you and say, "You didn't sing my favorite song." Okay, what's your favorite song? Oh, my favorite song is song number 8 on album number 14. It's like,
Because we're thinking
really?
that you've got that catalog, you've got that discography in your mind.
I can barely remember my name, but I can remember Wally Jump Jr. and the Criminal album on Criminal Records.
This is how you will never forget that. Is that embroidered or tattooed somewhere? I just want to
No.
Okay, that would be
in my mind. That's about it.
awesome. So when we come, like I get hyped up for a show. It's like if I know I have a show, it's going to be dinner and a show, and I'm excited.
Mhm.
What are you doing behind the stage to get ready for the crowd? Because like you said, for you, it's the same. Everywhere you go, there you are. And see, for me, I make a special treat and a special date to see you. So how do you get it going behind the scenes?
If I told you what happened backstage, I'd have to kill you.
All right, that's fine. I'm up for it. I'm up for the challenge.
Oh, no. Normally 30 minutes before I go on, I'm kind of chilling. Just to get my voice right, to make sure that I'm the best that I can be. And then sometimes there's a spades game going in the back.
Are you serious?
I swear to you. I swear to you. We're back there playing spades and just kind of chilling and bonding with one another. And then we get up on stage and we try to beat each other on the stage.
Oh, I love it because you want to see that and feel that. And you can feel the energy that comes from a band. I definitely feel so like, oh, they're all friends.
Mm-hmm.
And do you travel with the exact same group all the time?
Pretty much, yeah. What you see is it's consistent. So what you get here, you'll get in another city as well, same musicians, or if there are different musicians, it's the same caliber, same level.
Wow, that's wonderful. Now you told us about your siblings, and obviously as principals, they've got retirement on their horizon and things like that. Tell me what you want to do and for how long. I'm serious.
One of the hardest questions that my father ever asked me when he was alive, when I told him that I wanted to do this for a living, he asked me, he says, how do you retire from singing? And to this day, I have no answer.
I love that.
I have no answer. I sat there. He was like, get yourself a real job. How the hell do you retire from singing? I was like, how do you retire from
But
singing?
if you love it, that's like, how do you retire from eating? Why would you? So if you love it and it feels like that, why wouldn't you just keep singing?
Well, the reality is financially, if someone has what you call a traditional job, they put in X amount of years, they, have a 401k plan or whatever it might be. They get, Social Security, all these other things that they paid into. A lot of times as an entertainer, that's not the case. So, you work, you get paid, you eat. That's it. Pay your bills and that's it. So, long term, it's kind of hard to see how this thing ends. So you just keep doing it. I'm gonna do this. Let's see. I ain't gonna stop till the casket drops. So there we go.
Oh my
All
goodness.
right.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to find more about, and we will finish up this wonderful interview with this amazing, amazing artist in person. We'll see you back in a few seconds.
I used to watch BET, MTV, VH1, now I watch Tempo. Soca, Calypso, Reggae Dancehall. Don't stall, better get tuned in to the tempo. Don't have cable, they got an app. Go to your app store, download that. Whether it's tourism, cuisine, or the social scenes, if it ain't tempo, it's a rap. Who got the Caribbean views? Tempo. Mr. Latest in Caribbean news? Tempo. You tryna cook Caribbean food? Tempo. You know they got the music videos too. Tempo. Who got the Caribbean views? Tempo. Mr. Latest in Caribbean news? Tempo. You tryna cook Caribbean food? Tempo. You know they got the music videos too. Tempo.
We're back. We are, I'm telling you,
We're talking, it's like ding!
The interview off camera is as much fun as the interview on camera. And we were talking about, just back to your radio show a little bit, because you're featuring these artists and you're clearly featuring who you like or who you want.
Mhm.
How would an artist who has a record, trying to make it, how would they contact you so that they can be a part of all that goodness?
Hit me on social media. I'm Will Downing Singer on Facebook. Will Downing 3 on Instagram. Inbox me. People normally just send me MP3s via inbox.
And you really respond to this?
Damn right.
Okay, well, you heard it here.
I mean, you did right. Sorry.
Yes, exactly. This is TV, so we don't say, and you go through but you heard it, and this is an opportunity. So you got to take your opportunities where you find them. And this is a wonderful resource because you already know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You've already walked that way.
Yeah.
And you're just saying, come on, and I'll take you with that.
Come on. Words of Michael Jackson. Come on.
Oh my goodness, he is way too much fun. Honestly, you could have your own comedy show. Likable, personable, and can sing.
Thank you.
S-A-N-G. So as we were going through and talking just about life and family and everything else, we want to know what's next. You got the radio show. What else you got in your plans? Since as your daddy said, you're not ready to retire.
Well, I don't know how to. I'm 25 records in, so about to release album number 25, which will be entitled Sophisticated Soul on Sophisticated Soul Records, like Criminal Records.
Okay, so are you Sophisticated Soul Records?
Yeah.
Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
All right,
Yeah,
Sophisticated
yeah.
Soul.
Ownership.
Let me write that down.
Ownership. So yeah, that album is coming out in November 2nd, to be more specific, or as Black folks say, Pacific sometimes.
You are hitting all the things that I always say in my mind as we add S on things that we shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. But that's coming out, and so my normal procedure is record a record, release a record tour. So that's what we do. So the record has been recorded. We're releasing it in November, and we will be touring through, whenever.
I love
Until I
it.
release another one.
I love it. So when we go to those, so we can go directly to your website,
Yes, you can come to the Prince of Sophisticated Soul.
theprincesssophisticatedsoul.com.
.com.
And we can pick up those, absolutely. So that's excellent to know. Now, you did a release earlier this year.
I did.
Didn't you? What
I
was
did it
that
during
album?
the pandemic.
I love that. Pandemic music.
Yeah, pandemic music. Yeah, I had nothing else to do. I mean, I don't think any artist had anything to do. So I've been blessed to been able to afford to put a studio in my house. So we use technology.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on. He has been blessed to be able to put a studio in his house. So just to kind of get you an idea of who we're talking to right here.
Listen, I started out my career when I decided to record. I had 2 cassette recorders. God's honest truth. I would put a cassette in one. I would sing something on that one, and then I put the cassette in the other one and play that back, and then put a blank one in here, and then I'd harmonize on myself, and I kept bouncing it back and forth. So that was my first studio. So when I was able to afford a studio, I was able to piece something together so I could record at home. So when the pandemic hit, or AKA the pandemic, which is what I call it, because damn it messed everything up. The pandemic, not a pandemic, damn it. So when that hit, all of us musicians use technology to the best of our ability and to our knowledge, and we started sending files back and forth. And I Frankensteined a record together.
You Frankenstein?
Well, yeah, we pieced it together.
It's
Frankenstein.
alive.
It's alive. It lives. Yeah. So I released an
my
album
goodness.
entitled The Song Garden in 2021, and we're going to drop Sophisticated Soul in 2021 in November.
So you got 2 albums coming out. So this pandemic don't have nothing on you.
Nope.
Okay, let me correct the English. The pandemic has nothing on Will Downing.
They ain't got nothing on me.
I
She said
know.
it right the first time. They ain't got nothing on me.
Oh my goodness. So we can get all of that wonderful music. And when you're thinking about it, you're writing songs and you're writing music. What makes you, what gets you that inspired that you're thinking, I want it to go this way this time?
I don't know. I have no clue. I normally start a record. Sometimes I say, I'm not even going to record a record. And then all of a sudden, someone will come to mind. And then we'll start on something and be like, well, we got something mid-tempo. We need something up. Then I'll write something up tempo. So we got something mid, we got something up. We need something slow. And I'll record something slow. And the inspiration comes from where I can meet you. I can write a song later about you.
Okay, great. Stay tuned for that song. Greatest fan next to me. No, but really, with you lyrics, do you ever hear somebody say a line and you realize that could be a such a key
Well, yeah.
hook in a song or something like that?
I mean, some songs are inspired by real life, conversations that I've had with friends of mine who be complaining about something or excited about something. So we talk about that as well. We just leave the names out to protect the innocent.
Yes, let's do that. Well, what about Don't Talk to Me Like That?
I didn't write that.
Okay,
That was written by a gentleman
well, you
named Banks.
sing it. You
Yeah.
sing it like it was your argument.
Well, that's the job. The job is to be a narrator and to be an interpreter. So if someone writes a song, my job is to interpret it. Songs like I Tried, which was originally done by Angela Bofill. Songs like I Tried, which was done by Angela Bofill. I gave the male perspective on that lyric. You know, we always hear women say, well, I'm trying. And sometimes men, we feel the same way. We're just not represented. So I'm the representative for men on a song.
Oh my goodness. So the Prince of Sophisticated Soul is a representation, is a representative for men who need to emotionally
Everything listen to her.
Share their information.
She's saying it so well. I don't know.
I love it. I would just put that song on, but I tried. When I feel it, I feel like he did. I know, right? I truly feel that way. But there's so many things. So this whole, everybody that like one song that in the worst show ever because you didn't sing it with the Rochelle Farrell song. How did that get all created and inspired and put together quite that way?
Rochelle wrote that song. I had no idea who she was. It was a toss-up between myself and I think Phil Perry as to who was going to be the vocalist.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I guess we both got cassettes because we've gone that far back. And I heard it, and I heard a guy on the cassette, and I was like, well, there's a guy already singing. What the hell she need me for? Come to find out, it was her doing both parts. She did the male part and the female part.
She can get that high and that low. Well, why am I saying that? I've experienced that.
Yep, and somehow, some way, I got the job. I got the call to do the duet, and we went to the studio and we made it happen.
But that is such an iconic piece that's why people turn over tables and say, I hate you, Will Downing.
Furniture moving.
Exactly.
Pipe don't break it up.
We're gonna turn this place out if you don't sing that because that all resonates with us. And plus we want to see what new versions of what new scats or runs or we just need to know what's gonna happen because that thing is different every single time.
It is. Every time we sing it, it is different. Every time I sing it with her, and I've sung it with her a million times, or when I sing it with various artists. So like the other night I did it with Tracy Hamlin.
Tracy Hamlin. Okay, and when I tell you, I've met a number of people in the industry, in music industry, or as well as theater, and they have an opinion of themselves, and then people have an opinion of them. I will tell you, to a person, whenever I talk to anybody that's ever encountered you, they say something like, he's a gem, he's a prince, he is so wonderful. And I'm telling you, I really feel that. You are so regular.
Who I gotta pay for that?
No,
Tracy?
I'm just telling you. No, I tell you we gotta
I'm
pay.
gonna send you some Bitcoin.
Well,
I ain't sending you no money. I'm
no.
sending you some Bitcoin.
Okay, now that's not a bad deal. But on behalf of all of the people that are thankful to whoever heard Wally Jim Jr.
And the
Criminal Element.
On
Criminal
Criminal
Records.
Records, there we go.
Thank you, Will Downing. You are amazing. I am so honored to have been sitting here next to my most favorite singing
I told you,
artist.
she gonna say that about Maxwell. She gonna say that about
No, that is not true. And Maxwell is fine. It's wonderful. I like a lot of people, but to have a favorite, it's like a BFF. You can't have more than one of them because then you lose the B. So, no.
I didn't think about that.
Exactly right. You can only have one best.
That's right. You
So you are my most favorite.
All right, I'm the BFF of vocalists.
Exactly. In my life.
Yeah, I'm not the FF. I'm the BFF.
So we are looking forward to tuning in on the wind down. We thank you for sharing your story with us, having us laugh and being here. You are absolutely wonderful. And I am forever a fan. This is one time I'm not disappointed on every level. You know, like sometimes you meet somebody and you're like, well, they weren't all that. You are all that.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. Our listeners, our viewers, you've got to watch this and rewatch this and look out for the wind down on rtv.network. So happy and so grateful to you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
See you.